Murder. While one of the worst crimes committed, it is also one of the most common in today's world. Incredibly, some people who face this monstrosity of a crime do live to tell the tale. These are three people whom survived serial killers. After getting into an argument with her boyfriend at the time, Maria ended up in emotional distress at a metro in Moscow. After noticing the young lady's distraught look, Alexander Pushkin worked his way over, sparking up a welcomed conversation with lonely Maria. Due to the situation being connected to monetary issues, Alexander offered her a way to relieve some of this burden. Or, so it seemed. His offer was to have her sell some stolen cameras that he had stashed away in a well at a local park. Due to the stresses that she was dealing with earlier in the day, Maria wasn't about to look a gift horse in the mouth. A short while later, Maria and Alexander were standing beside the well. Alexander lifted the cover off of it while telling her to look inside. This is where things started to take a violent turn for the worse. Much like a strong gust of wind, Alexander snatched her up and threw her into the well. Maria's instincts kicked in just in time to grasp onto the sides, trying to prevent falling, which would have worked, until Alexander started slamming her head into the side of the well. Once her grip became loosened, she tumbled 30 feet, only to land in knee-deep sewage water. Alexander's words rolled after her like thunder. "Take a bath there." Maria then had to quickly think, as the sewage water's current was extremely powerful and began to drag her into what would have been a watery grave. Fortunately, however, she grasped onto the side of the drains in time to prevent drowning. Maria's luck then took a turn for the better. At that moment, a woman whom was passing by heard Maria's cries ascending from the well. She then alerted two security guards, whom pulled Maria to safety. After the whole incident, she went to the police in an attempt to stop this madman. However, they refused to investigate it and made Maria sign a statement saying it was all an accident. Eventually, Lady Justice came to Alexander, as he was finally captured for 48 murders. He eventually became known as the Chessboard Killer. For Jennifer, the bus stop was just another part of her everyday commute. On this particular day, she decided to take a few minutes out of her wait to visit the store that was located right next to the bus stop. However, in doing so, it caused her to miss the bus. Moments later, what seemed to be a knight in shining armor pulled up to Jennifer. Little did she know at the time, this was Andrew Urdiales. He offered her a ride to work, and due to the fact that he didn't give off any bad vibes, she accepted. Fortunately for her, she made it to work on time, and Andrew drove off. Jennifer's shift lasted until 6 a.m., at which point she saw Andrew was waiting outside for her. He offered her a ride home, and because the previous experience was nothing but pleasant, she really didn't see a reason not to accept. Unfortunately for Jennifer, this experience in the car was far more unpleasant than the last. It all started with him placing a knife to her throat, tying her hands behind her back and driving her out to the desert. This monster then forced her into a sexual act, raped her, and taunted her by opening the door and telling her to get out. As soon as Jennifer tried to run, Andrew snatched her by the hair and threw her back into the trunk. At this point, Jennifer was searching frantically for a way out and thankfully found it. She waited for the right moment, pulled the truck release, and jumped out into the road. This is where some Marines discovered her and drove her to safety. Andrew was later caught and convicted with 8 counts of murder. Larry was well known for being a publisher of Hustler magazine and the creator of a business empire. He was also famous for surviving an assassination attempt. This all started on March 6, 1978, when Joseph Paul Franklin shot Larry and his lawyer while they were combating charges at a local Georgia courthouse. Out of the blue, gunshots rang through the air, 2 of which struck Larry, causing him to lose consciousness. Later, Larry woke up in the ICU, and to his dismay, became paralyzed from the waist down. Years later, an interracial couple were murdered, and Franklin was finally brought to justice. This is when he openly explained the true horrors that were his crimes. The reason he targeted Larry was because of the way he lived his life against Franklin's beliefs. claimed to be extremely religious and had a strict moral stance against pornography, particularly the interracial scenes that were extremely popular with Hustler at this time. Some of the other crimes Larry's assailant admitted to was 8 murders in the United States between 1977 and 1980, along with the bombing of several synagogues. On top of that, this monster claimed to have killed dozens of more people in an attempt to start a race war. This was not a surprise, as he was a known member of the Ku Klux Klan and a neo-Nazi. After all his confessions, he received the death penalty. Incredibly, however, Larry had no wish to see his assailant die. He actually insisted for Franklin's sentence to be changed to life in prison due to his strict stance against the death penalty. His exact words were, "In all the years since the shooting, I have never come face to face with Franklin. I would love an hour in a room with him with a pair of wire cutters and pliers so I could inflict the same damage on him that he inflicted on me. But I do not want to kill him, nor do I want to see him die. I just don't think the government should be in the business of killing people. And I think the punishment by putting somebody in a 3x6 cell is a lot greater than if you snuff out their life within a few seconds with a lethal injection." However, even after this stance, Joseph Franklin was still executed in November of 2013. Since 1980, there have been a total of 154 serial killers. With that number continuing to rise, it is amazing that we go through our everyday lives without encountering one. And for some of us to do, it's even more amazing that we live to tell the tale. Whether surviving a huge fall, having a knife to your throat, or having a bullet pierce your body, at the end of the day, we should all be thankful that we made it through this mayhem. Until next time, I'm calling this case closed. Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you again for watching the video. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you're fond of our work. Also, just so you guys have a kind of a heads up, I'm planning on sending out a video about every week to 2 weeks, if at all possible. So if you guys would like to come up with any topic ideas, anything that you would like me to do a video on, please feel free to write that in the comments below. And I'll be more than happy to kind of look into it and see what I can do. We're also going to be very soon starting up another video channel, kind of going along with it, where it's going to be, instead of the whole murder mystery dark side, it's going to be a little more comedy oriented, kind of like a news channel. So be on the lookout for that. Once again, thank you so much for watching my video. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share it with your friends or whatnot, and leave comments. I'll do my best to get back with all of you. Thank you.